So this one is my outlook of the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. So my pending question with them is how can we repeat? Like if I'm in the front office, this is my question. How can we repeat, go back to Super Bowl 60 and win the thing? Now, my top three needs I view as offensive guard. Like there's not a lot of needs on this roster. Like this is being really picky, really nitpicky. But offensive guard, I really wasn't wild about Mekhi Becton. Like Mekhi Becton was serviceable, and he's a free agent, so I would heavily consider letting him walk. And then tight end, I'm not big on Dallas Goedert. I like him in the blocking game, and he can be a threat occasionally in the passing game. But you see Dallas Goedert, you're like, okay, like it's an opposing defense. You're not going to prioritize him as even a top 4, 5, or 6 threat on that offense. Maybe 6, but they also have key guys on the defensive side of the ball like Josh Sweat, like Zach Bond, that they need to prioritize in order to maintain, either prioritize or replace in order to maintain that elite defense that we saw all throughout the playoffs, all throughout the regular season, and in the Super Bowl. So their draft picks are 32, 64, 96, 129, 162, 166. What they need to focus on with those picks is just kind of building depth, especially at the linebacker position. Just build depth there. I have them taking offensive guard Donovan Jackson at 32. Defensive tackle out of Toledo, Darius Alexander at 64. Now, Darius Alexander is creating a lot of buzz there. He could sneak into the first round. And then Gunnar Helmet, 96. I also like Carson Swessinger, the linebacker out of UCLA. I definitely think that's a viable pick, especially in that second round there. Free agent target I want to highlight. It's maybe a little out of their price range, but if Zach Bond is asking for a certain range and Andrew Van Ginkel's on the lower end of that, and they could snag Andrew Van Ginkel, he'd be huge. Probably the most underrated defensive player last year. And trade candidate, I think they got to go. Like, if Jair Alexander's available, you got to at least try it. I mean, it's just interesting. And then the Kellen Moore switch up an offensive coordinator. I think they'll be fine. They got no reason to not host multiple playoff games this year. They should be the favorite to win the Super Bowl.